There's something magical about stepping into a garden filled with color, texture, and fragrance. But when those same blossoms can also be harvested and tossed into a salad or floated in a glass of iced tea, that's where gardening meets culinary wonder. Edible flowers aren't just pretty, they're packed with subtle flavors, surprising textures, and nutrients that can elevate your garden and your kitchen at the same time. While many know about using roses or lavender, today we're digging into 5 unexpected edible flowers that are both easy to grow and a delight to eat. One of the most cheerful and useful edible flowers is calendula, also known as the pot marigold. Its bright orange or yellow petals are hard to miss, but it's the flavor that often surprises gardeners. Slightly peppery with a hint of tang, calendula petals bring color and subtle bite to soups, pasta, and fresh garden salads. Some even steep it in teas as a calming herbal remedy. What makes it a dirt-decoded favorite is how easy it is to grow in containers or raised beds, and how continuously it blooms through the season with very little fuss. Next, violets might seem like they belong in a woodland fairy tale, but their dainty presence hides a powerful punch in the kitchen. These tiny blossoms bring a gentle honey-like sweetness that works beautifully in desserts. You know, they can be candied and placed on top of cakes, frozen into ice cubes for fancy drinks, or even tossed into a fruit salad for a nice floral twist. They also contain natural pigments, which makes them pretty useful for natural food coloring or whipping up some violet syrup. Violets really enjoy cooler seasons and partial shade, so if you're short on sun, these are honestly a perfect fit. Then there's the always surprising nasturtium, a flower that looks just as fiery as it tastes. With vibrant reds, oranges, and yellows, nasturtiums bring a bold, peppery zing that's just perfect for livening up leafy greens or garnishing a savory sandwich. You know, the entire nasturtium plant is edible, from the flowers right down to those round lily pad-shaped leaves. This makes it such a versatile addition to your edible landscape. Interestingly, the leaves are often spicier than the blooms and can be used just like arugula. Pretty neat, huh? Nasturtiums thrive in full sun and poor soil, which is kind of surprising. It actually performs better when you neglect it a little, perfect for those of us who prefer a low-maintenance gardening approach. When it comes to growing edible flowers, sunlight and soil are really the cornerstones of success. Most edible blooms, including the ones we've talked about here, love at least 6 hours of direct sun. They also appreciate well-draining soil with some organic matter mixed in. It's amazing how a little bit of sun and good soil can make such a difference. If your soil is heavy or clay-based, consider loosening it up with compost or planting in raised beds or containers for more control. Starting edible flowers is straightforward, whether you go the route of seeds or take cuttings from a mature plant. Calendula, nasturtiums, and violets grow easily from seed. Just sow them directly into the soil after the last frost, cover lightly, and keep the soil moist until you see those first leaves break through. For flowers like violets, which can also be propagated from runners or divisions, you can transplant them from an established plant and watch them settle in quickly. So, keep an eye on watering. Flowers really need consistent moisture, especially during dry spells, but they don't like soggy soil. For pest control, it's best to opt for natural methods like neem oil, beneficial insects, or even just a simple spray of water to knock off aphids. Because these flowers are edible, it's crucial to avoid synthetic pesticides that might harm you as much as the pests. Once your blooms are thriving, it's time to bring them into the kitchen. Edible flowers can completely transform the look and taste of your dishes. Imagine a mixed green salad with bright petals from calendula and nasturtium scattered across the top. It's not just pretty, it's bursting with flavor. You know, you might want to try adding violet blossoms to your lemonade. Or, how about brewing a calming calendula tea for a quiet evening ritual? It's a delightful way to bring a touch of nature into your kitchen. Oh, and get this, you can even fold flowers into cake batter or press them into frosting. It's not just about looking pretty, it adds something meaningful to every bite. So, why not give it a try? Here's a little tip for you. Presentation matters just as much as taste. A simple edible flower garnish on a pasta dish or smoothie bowl can instantly make it look gourmet. It's a small touch that makes a big difference. So, you know, you can float a few petals on soups just before serving, or maybe top a creamy dessert with fresh blooms for a stunning contrast. Honestly, it's these small touches that really turn everyday meals into experiences worth savoring. Growing edible flowers is more than just a gardening trend, it's a way to engage all your senses. There's joy in picking something beautiful, and knowing it will also nourish your body. These plants invite you to slow down, get creative in the kitchen, and appreciate the full circle of garden-to-table living. So if you've been thinking about adding a touch of flavor to your flower beds or bringing some extra color to your cooking, now's the time. These unexpected edible flowers are not just easy to grow, they're wildly rewarding. If you've grown or tasted any of these yourself, drop your experience in the comments below. And if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this video with a fellow gardener who's ready to take their harvest to a whole new level.